Reads with your Cosmic OGB. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Monday morning. Happy Monday. To those of you who are at work, you can listen in at work like a podcast, or for those of you who have off and you're enjoying your summer, welcome in. Thank you for watching the live stream, you guys. Drop your zodiac sign down in the chat stream below. Let me know y'all ready for the read. This one is going to be an all signs collective read. It's not going to be sign specific like our other live streams, and it is going to be a lot shorter, probably between like I would say 45 to an hour. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I have to say about this reading and what I've been channeling for your message, definitely stay tuned, stick around, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And for those of you who are new here, I do offer personal reading services. I do have merch and memberships, and all those links are in the description box below. So you guys go check it out. Click on them links, it'll take you places. All right, only take what resonates, remember, so leave the rest. You don't always have to have everything resonate with you, okay? So we're about to get into prayer, and then I'm going to get started with your reading, okay? All right, gang, if you love the vibes, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, okay? If not, whatever. Hey, you guys, I see y'all pulling up to the chat. All right, let's get it. What do we have here? Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. Thank you, God, Source, Creator, Assets, and Angels for everything that you do for me in the collective on a daily. All the love, the sustenance, the abundance, the peace, the harmony, the grace, the balance, the protection. For we are nothing without it. We are everything with you. At this time, I ask that you cleanse my space, my mind, body, soul, and spirit of any low vibrational energies or entities that do not belong here. Only that the highest white light is allowed in this space. Anything low vibrational is commanded to leave out. Thank you, God, Source, Creator, Ashe, for all that you do for me in the collective on a daily. For we are nothing without it. We are everything with you. So glory be to the Most High, forever and ever, never. Ashe, and so it is. All right. So no weapon formed against us shall prosper in this space. Okay. No weapon formed against us shall prosper in this space. All right. So let's go. Let's go, you guys. I was hearing an echo, so let me turn that off. All right. So let me know if the audio is good. You guys drop them thumbs up down in the chat. Let me know the audio is good up in here. All right, we're about to get started. my voice is a little raspy. It's because literally I just rolled out of bed and I was like, let me do this collective read because I've been dragging this out. I was supposed to do this on, I think, Friday morning, but I completely forgot I scheduled it. So we're about to get started with this reading today. And this is information I was channeling like all of last week, and I couldn't wait to do this reading. So we're finally getting to it today, Monday. So happy Monday to all my baddies and saddies up in the building. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. All right, you guys. Hey, Chrissy. Hey, Christina. Hey, hi, Divine Empress. Hi, Shantae. Who else we got up in the building? We got Brooke, Bailey, Leia. Who else? Zaira. Who else? Bailey. Thank you for the gift. We got Queen, Amanda K, Bernadette, Sabrina, Giggles. Hey. Hey, you guys. You didn't realize I was going live today? You needed me? Yeah, well, I hope that this reading resonates with a lot of people. It's been one that I've been holding off on. I've been trying to do it, but I keep forgetting. Okay, so the audio's good? Okay, great. Yeah, because there was an echo on my end, so that's good. Yeah, this is our first Monday morning one. I have a members only live stream tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you're looking to get a personal one-on-one 10-minute reading live with all the rest of the OGs, we'll be doing that on today at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys want to become a member, or if you already are a member, if you didn't get a personal reading on Friday and Saturday this weekend when we did our members only live, then make sure you come in tonight to get your reading, because that's what you pay for, right? So it's $14.99 a month for that membership to get 10-minute personal readings every other Friday and Saturday weekend. We'll open up Mondays as needed because we do have a large crew. So I always like to open up Mondays just in case. So that's just for you guys who are members or who want to become members. You can get a 10-minute personal reading every Friday, Saturday, and occasionally on Mondays, okay? At 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's always at the same time or in and around the same time. All right, so that's what I have here for you guys. All right, let's tap into your message that I have been channeling for like a whole 7 days right now. I've been waiting to do this reading. So as you can see the title here, it says you are about to be quantum leaping, okay? Or you have quantum jumped already, which a lot of people are like, what does that mean? Well, you've done something different, or you're starting to think differently about your life, your circumstances. You're starting to recognize certain people, places, or things, or even parts of your own internal self shifting. So you're not really showing up the same way. You still are who you are, but it's like you're kind of being pulled or guided to go in a new direction or to handle things differently. This could be with work, this could be with personal life, relationships closest to you. So it's like there's a lot of things moving and changing, and it's with this Lionsgate portal, and it's also with this full moon coming to completion. So the full moon was on the 9th. Yeah, the 9th of August. It was a full moon in Aquarius, and Aquarius is always about introspection, reflecting on how far you've came, where you're at now, and where you want to go. And so we are in the year of Aquarius as well, and the year of the snake with the Chinese New Year of the snake. That's all speaking of the same things that I mentioned with this full moon. So you guys are going through these different shifts, and it feels weird, and it feels uncomfortable, and it also feels like you almost don't know yourself anymore. You're afraid to step into this new version of yourself. You're afraid of what other people will think. You're not for certain. So you could feel all these things or one of these things I've mentioned, but that's what I have been channeling, that like there's a collective of people and you may be part of these people. So if you feel like you are, keep watching, like the video. But it's only going to be for those people who need this message, because only those who are actually going through this will actually resonate with the message. I have other messages on my channel, other videos on my channel you guys could resonate with. So go check those out if this isn't the one for you. But yeah, take what resonates, leave the rest, and all that good stuff. That's what I have been channeling for, like, I would say about 5 to 7 days now. And so I want to talk about it on the platform. So, yeah, there's a collective of people quantum jumping into this new version of themselves where they're still themselves, but they have like a particular interest or a particular goal that's popping up and coming to surface. And it may not include a lot of the people around them. So you might be shifting into a more solo energy for some of you. And for others of you, you're already kind of solo right now. Maybe you've been solo for a while. You guys are going to be actually meeting new people. So I'm getting like two different groups of the collective where some of you guys are shifting into solitude and then meeting people as you go along. And then there's others of you who've been in solitude for a while and you've been shifting into this person, and you kind of are already this person of the quantum jumper, and you're going into this version of yourself where you're going to be attracting a lot of people, opportunities, new things, and maybe not everything and everyone who was around you then in the past is coming with you. They're kind of being left behind and you're kind of like stepping forward. So I feel like people are kind of climbing a staircase into the next version of themselves. So that's what I've been channeling. I hope this makes sense. For those of you who this message is for, it will make sense very quickly. And for others of you, you might question, or you may not resonate because maybe you're not there at this particular point of your life, and that's fine too. Okay, so we're about to be channeling this. We're going to be covering career. We're going to be covering love. We're going to be covering spirituality in this whole live stream. So it is going to be for any sign. You can watch for any zodiac sign you are. You don't have to be zodiac sign specific in this particular read. If you want something more zodiac sign specific, there's other videos that have like in the description box or in the comments where you can click to your zodiac sign. But for this one is going to be just general collective kind of read on you quantum jumping and how everything is about to change for your life. Okay, so this shift is crazy, right, Queen? Okay, so a lot of you guys are already feeling this quantum leap, this Lionsgate, this shift. Yeah, okay, so I'm not the only one feeling it, because I was like, am I the only one feeling this right now? Because I feel like this is what the collective is going through. So yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah, let's break this down. Hi, Wendy. Hey, you guys. Hi, Light and Dark. It's good to see everybody in the chat. Genesita, welcome in. All right, welcome back, you guys. So let's talk about this for a little bit, because this is going to be all the juice and all the tea, okay, for the OGB live stream. All right, so let's tap into what's going on with career. A lot of you guys are shifting with how you identify with career, your finances, who you are, how you want to step up, or what type of opportunities you want to have. So let's get into the career cards here. I'm going to be time stamping when we start career, love, and spirituality of this version of this reading, I will be timestamping that after the live stream, okay? And for some of you guys who want to help timestamp, you're more than welcome to leave the timestamp in the comments when we start each category, okay? So we're starting career right now. What is shifting when it comes to career, your identity to career, and your relationship to money? Let's see what's going on here. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source, for the highest good, for the collective who need to hear this information. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. What do we have for the highest good, for the collective, when it comes to the quantum leap? Everything is about to change. Can you show us the changes that are being made? Can you show us the changes that are about to be made or that are being made in this moment right now? For career, finances, their relationship to money, how they identify, their life purpose, their life path. Thank you, Spirit. Ashe. Wow. I didn't even get to do a full shuffle. Spirit just had an answer for you right away. The answer for you guys is the first card out. You guys already know how I feel about the first card out in my live stream readings. Usually it's the strongest. Usually it's the crowning card or the theme to the rest of the spread. But let me just show you what came out. And ignore the nails, you guys. I got to get my nails done again. But we have here power position. And it says you are being promoted or called to lead. A lot of you guys are going to resonate with this because a lot of you guys already feel this right now and you're kind of lost and you're kind of trying to just navigate and you don't know what's going on or what to do or if you're on the right path. You are on the right path because Spirit is saying that you're trying to drag on an old version of yourself, but you're going into a new identity shift of like what you want to do with your life, and that's called life purpose. You're being promoted or called to lead. So you're not no regular person in spiritual in your angel's eyes or God's source creator or however you want to label it, the universe, energy. You're not just regular. You're really, really important. So there's something about you have a powerful position and you're being called to step up to this promotion, this spiritual promotion, to this physical promotion, maybe in your workplace, whether you work for yourself or you work for an employer. There's something here where you're called to step up to lead, and it's time to step into your sovereignty and guide others with compassion, okay? So how do you guide others with compassion? Well, you guide yourself with this compassion. You're compassionate of what you're letting go of in order to become this person that you feel like you're being called to become. You're being called to be, right? So there's this powerful position. Bailey just said in the chat, it's crazy. My second job, I take the lead every time and it's not intentional. It's just natural. Yeah, because you're probably channeling a part of yourself that is wanting to be a leader, wanting to be a vocal like leader for your group or for like something bigger. And so like it's almost like you're naturally going in this direction of you're about to take the lead in like something that naturally falls into your path. The more you act like this person or the more that you naturally are this person, there's an opportunity that's going to fall onto your path and align. So you know how sometimes when we're like, I don't know why I'm craving pineapples, right? Sometimes you just crave a certain food. You're like, I don't know why I'm craving pineapples. I just need pineapples. I need pineapples. And then you find out later that, oh, as you were eating these pineapples, you go to your doctor's office and they're like, hey, what have you been doing lately? Your body or your blood type or whatever is going really well at this time. And you're like, I don't know. I was just craving pineapples and I started eating them. And they're like, hey, guess what? Did you know that pineapples do this, this, and this for your body? And that's what you needed because we didn't know what was going on with you. And now we know. And, you know, that's actually good for you. So keep doing that. You ever listen to your body and then someone gives you information and that aligns to you? There's something of that same principle with career, with your leadership. Okay, this is what I've been channeling for like 5 days, you guys. I couldn't wait to talk about it. But there's this information coming in where you guys are kind of being called to a particular place of life or a particular interest. There's certain things that don't resonate with you anymore when it comes to career or interest in things like how you make money or how you represent yourself or who you work for. All of that's falling away. And so there's other things falling into place. And the more you listen to your intuition and listen to this inner calling and listen to this pull in this direction, the more you're going to be more in your sovereignty, the more you're going to be able to guide not only yourself with compassion, but with others with compassion and love and security and for certainty. You're supposed to be a role model or an example. And a lot of you guys are afraid to step into that, or you're like, why am I being like this? And it's because there's an opportunity that's going to be put onto your path as you are quantum leaping. So as you are jumping onto this new timeline, there is an opportunity jumping as well to meet you at this new version of yourself. Does that make sense, you guys? Hopefully this makes sense. So this is the type of energy you may be feeling right now, and it is supposed to feel uncomfortable. And for some of you guys, you don't want to necessarily, like, say if it requires you to leave a particular workplace. Some of y'all, you don't want to leave a workplace, but you're going to have to. For some of you guys, you don't want to leave a certain department because you're moving up a couple floors to like the executive's room. You don't want to, but you're going to have to. For some of you guys, you're going to get an opportunity that kind of challenges you and you're like, I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I'd be good enough for that. And for some of you guys, you're going to question it, but that's going to be the thing that you're going to want to do because that's the thing that's going to change the rest of your life around you. It could change your money, your mindset, your finances, your physical self. It could just be everything that you needed that you didn't know you needed, but the universe did. You see what I'm saying? So there's something here where you're naturally quantum jumping. Your body is quantum jumping before your mind can catch up. Because your mind is supposed to protect you, right? Our minds are supposed to keep us away from like danger, right? So automatically our mind's going to think from a fear-based mindset. There's going to be a grand or great opportunity in front of us and we're like, I don't know, I'm scared, or I'm not good enough, or what if, and it's like that's what your mind does to keep you safe in like things of like danger or like, you know, circumstances where you need to survive. Like if there was a zombie apocalypse, you would go into that mode because you would have to, you know, be on alert. But for this in particular, you don't need to do that, but your mind's going to do that, but your body's going to tell you, no, but this feels good, but your mind's going to be like, nah, but what if it isn't? So Spirit is saying we need to get more in alignment. We need to be like, instead of head over heart, we need to be in alignment, balanced with our mind, body, and soul. We really got to listen to where we're being pushed and called to and stop resisting. The more we resist change, the more we become with a lack of like, it could be a lack of anything, a lack of better relationships around you, a lack of better money or materialistic gain around you, a lack of your own spiritual growth, you know, your own understanding between you and source creator or the universe or whatever you want to label it as. Like you have this disconnect the more you resist this change. And so if you guys have been like feeling disconnected, it's because you're resisting. You're swimming against the current instead of going with the current, because the current is supposed to drive you into your currency. And what's currency? Money. What's abundance? Your spirituality. What's you know, what is of love and light, you know, relationships to others. And if you want certain relationships to last or to even begin, or to even start, if you want new relationships to people, then you have to be in this energy of wanting to change and wanting to create this, you know, evolution of yourself. Like you have to accept what's happening. It's all about accepting and releasing what no longer serves you. So that way you could be in the energy of your highest, next, best version of yourself. And a lot of you guys want your best version of yourself. So Spirit is saying, yeah, you're being called to lead here. And so go with that feeling. Hi, Ari. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Goddess. It's good to see y'all in the chat. Yeah, being comfortable isn't going to get you paid. Exactly, Billy. Hi, Akia. You say you want to lead and push your brand more out into the world. You're unsure about how to go about it, but step by step, the more you think about it, the more you journal about it, the more you meditate on that or contemplate on that, Akia, you're going to get there. You're going to know exactly what to do, because as much as we always try to act like the universe isn't universing, the universe is universing, child. You guys know that if you think about something or someone and it happens later on that week, you already know energy is moving. Energy could never tell you a lie, because energy is always around us. So there's this field of like understanding or understanding that you're going to have, because you're going to know, like, if I just think about it a lot, if I contemplate it a lot, I'm going to get the answer. I'm going to see an angel number, or I'm going to see something on a billboard that gives me the answer while I'm driving. Or I'm going to see like, two people talking, and I'm going to probably walk right past them but only hear one certain sentence or one phrase that they say, and then that's going to be my answer from the universe. It's ironic that I walked past them to hear that part of their conversation that actually answered my own problem. You see what I'm saying? So there's something here. If you keep contemplating and thinking about it, journaling it, or even meditating on this, you're going to get the answer, because spirit is already knowing like you want an answer. So if you keep asking, what's my life purpose? Man, I really need to find this out. And you do some research online and you're like, no, that's not it. I can't figure it out. Next thing you know, in a week or 2 weeks, you're going to know exactly what that thing is. You're going to know exactly where to start or what to do, or that first step to take, because the universe is going to respond to you because you're asking. So asking, you shall receive. It's the same thing in biblical terms. It doesn't matter your religion or your spirituality. If you ask the universe, angels, your ancestors, God, source, creator, if you ask energy, what should I do? The energy will answer back to you. And so spirit is saying there's this beautiful energy here where you guys are meant to be called to lead, even though you might be scared or nervous, or it might be uncomfortable, or you have to leave certain people behind, places behind, to be this version of yourself. It's okay. You could still love people from a distance. You could still set healthy boundaries. You could still, close those relationships out respectfully, if it comes to closure. But there's something here about you're meant to level up, okay? So there is this energy. The universe is trying to tell you, let's level up. And a lot of you guys, you have quantum jumped, but your mind hasn't caught up to where you're at. Your body is moving, and your mind is like, I'm scared. It hasn't caught up. So everything's not in alignment yet, but you're walking into this new version of yourself. So the more you go with the flow, like I said, and accept this happening, the quicker and the sooner you get to these opportunities and this better version of yourself that you desire. Because a lot of you in the collective desire this, okay? I love that it has a crown here. For some of you guys, you consider yourselves royalty, right? Of the highest white light, the divine energy, kings and queens out there. So you might consider yourself this way. You might stand a little bit taller, or you feel like yourself going into this kind of posture. So that's what I have here for you. We also have the shield here. It's like you're protecting your energy. And as you're walking into this new, I would say, royal version of yourself, this new well-respected version of yourself. So that's what we have here. First card out. I got a lot of stuff from just one card. Can you imagine? That's crazy. But let's get into the next card here, okay? Let's get into the next card. Bottom of the deck here says adventure. Okay? This adventure says you will be making exciting work moves that could take you outdoors or on a trip. You will need to climb steadily to reach your financial goals. So a lot of you guys, whether you work for yourself or you work for another company, whether you're in limbo, you're trying to figure out what you want to do or anything like that, Spirit is saying embrace this adventure, but recognize the things that help you climb steadily to reach your financial goals, and recognize the things that don't help you climb steadily to reach these financial goals. Because this could be exciting work that could help you make moves, or this could be really not exciting work. And it has a lot to do with your environment. A lot of you guys are literally being like, your whole life is going to change. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I had just been channeling this for like 5 days. Your whole life is about to change, and a lot of it is going to feel like certain people who are around you, who you was tight with, they're not going to be locked in to the version of yourself that you're walking into. They might think it's woo-woo. They might think it's different. They might think it's not you. It's influenced by others. But it's actually what you've been naturally being called to. You were just ignoring, or you were just in the void. You weren't enlightened to this, right? You weren't accepting it. So there's something here that you're meant to change, and it will take you on an adventure. And this adventure is not like highs and lows and really like a lot of challenges. When you start to stop swimming against the current and you start going with the flow, there's less lows and more highs. So there's more of like opportunities coming towards you when you're in this flow-based energy or mindset, right? And so there's something here when you accept this, that you are changing and people around you see you change, You're going to know who's for your best self and who's not for your best self. You're going to know what workplace is for your best self. You're going to know what workplace is not for your best self, right? On the other side, we have gifts. Hi, PJ. It has been a while. Welcome back to the read. Hi, Mexi Queen. Good to see you back. And the twins from South Africa. Thank you so much for being here. So there's a gift here. This adventure, I know it feels uncomfortable, you guys, but this adventure leads to a gift. The adventure is you evolving. The adventure isn't like, oh, I'm just going on trips and just having some fun. It's not going to feel fun on the internal side. But what it is going to do is create an adventure, like layers to yourself that are chipping away and getting put in better parts of yourself, getting put together, or the math is mathing. It's starting to make sense between you and the universe, right? You and yourself, you and others, right? So there's something about this adventure, this evolution of self that takes you on a journey. It might take you into new rooms. It might get you to meet new people. It might make you have new opportunities. For some of you have new jobs, or you have new ways of thinking around your own business. But there's this new version emerging, and this is the adventure. This is the layers of like you traveling on this new version of your timeline, quantum jump, right? So your whole life is about to change. A lot of you guys are going to get gifts from the universe in the form of people, in the form of opportunities, just plopping onto your path, just out of nowhere, just because you're embracing this new version of yourself, or not being afraid to show your authentic self, to show the parts of yourself where you think differently, you like to move differently than the crowd. Okay, for some of you guys, you'll be quitting certain addictions as well. That's the gift within itself. Because in order for you to be in a powerful position, some of you guys have to let go of like certain obsessions or addictions or behavior patterns in order to evolve within. So there's something here that's the gift within itself, right? And not everybody's going to agree with that for some of you. There's an energy here where it says you are uncovering new talents that will land you new work and a better position. You could get more money with the deal as well. So there is a lot here happening for the collective. A lot of you guys are here wondering, well, I already have something new, and I don't know, maybe I'm not that talented, I'm kind of just living life and going with this thing. Okay, then that's fine too. But if there's something that shifts within you, go with that feeling. If you're working at that workplace and you're like, man, I kind of want to start my own hobby, do that. You don't know if that hobby is going to turn into a business. Oh, I kind of want to start my own business. Then start investing into that, right? Start thinking and brainstorming or writing things down, making a practical plan. It doesn't mean that you have to buy an LLC right away. Just do your research. Start doing the steps that you need to take in order for these things that you desire to happen. Because usually when we're called to something, it's not because it doesn't exist. It's because it does. Somewhere out there in the world, somewhere out there on the timeline, somewhere out there in energy, you're already doing this thing, or else it wouldn't be calling you to do it. So there is something calling you within for a lot of you guys on a career-based level, a financial level. It's calling you to do it because you're good at it, or it's a talent that you have, or it's a talent emerging, and it's about to change your whole entire life. And for some of you guys, you're intimidated about this thing because it requires certain sacrifices for certain things to be let go and certain things to come together. And for others of you, if you're not intimidated by it, it's more of like, where do I start? You're kind of confused on what to do. And so Spirit is saying here, you're going to step into this with a little bit of fear. I'm not going to lie, you guys. You're going to have to do it with fear. Okay? And that's kind of inevitable. A fearless person was never fearless at birth. Okay? It's like you got to step into your fear with this shield, kind of, right? With this sirens. I hear the sirens, double confirmation. This is an emergency. This is a critical message for the collective. Yeah, you guys are going to have, you're going to have to step into this with fear, with like bravery. Okay, so when we talk about doing things with fear, we talk about bravery, right? You might be scared, but you're not letting nobody see you sweat. You're not playing yourself out of your position. You're not self-sabotaging. You're doing this with bravery, right? And so there's like an energy of you where it's like, be brave, have courage, and be kind to yourself and others, and make this move. And whoever's there when you make this move and supporting you genuinely, then they're there. Whoever's not, it's okay. They're allowed to go. Because Spirit is saying you can't level up and drag people, places, things, or patterns, behaviors, and habits with you. Okay? So there's that energy. Okay? Bottom of the deck, we have this card. I'm going to have to cover it up for YouTube. But it says here, real passion. Stop wasting your time in dead-end jobs and find your true passion. It's time to experiment, but don't settle for less than what you truly deserve. So there's something here about, and it depicts two people laying on the ground kissing here. So there's something about real passion. As much passion that you have for maybe a relationship or a person or your coupled energy, if you have somebody, or when you do have someone, you know how you put all your all into it. Spirit is saying, let's get into that real passion within when it comes to career, when it comes to financial gain. The universe has a gift for you, but they can't give it to you unless you accept your journey, unless you accept your true talents, unless you accept that part of yourself that you're kind of tucking away. Like, you playing small doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve the world either. Okay? That's not saying to have a grandiose ego or have this outwardly pride. It's just saying don't play small. Like, don't self-sabotage your own true talent. If you know you're passionate about something, you really want to do it, then go for that. Because 9 times out of 10, that's going to be the thing that your intuition has been telling you. And 10 times out of 10, since you followed your intuition, it is going to work out. It's guaranteed. The gift is here. Sometimes we get intimidated by our own gifts, our own talents, our own knowledge, our own intellect, our own guidance. Sometimes we're intimidated by that because we're like, is that what I'm supposed to do? Well, if you keep asking the question and not moving, then you're in analysis paralysis. You're not finna go nowhere. You about to be broke. You about to be broken spirit, broken relationships, and broken money. So it's like Spirit is saying, at least try. You're not gonna know if you don't try. So that's where that bravery comes in, right? It's like trying broccoli on a plate. You don't know if you're going to like broccoli until you try it. And most of the time, parental figures or someone like our friend or somebody peer pressured us to try something new. And it didn't always end up being a bad thing. Yeah, we might have not liked broccoli or Brussels sprouts or whatever, but we liked everything else when we tried it. So that's saying, yeah, there might be a door closed here, a door closed there, but everything else might be a door open. You just don't know, right? And so when it comes to these opportunities, Spirit can't wait to give you these opportunities, but you have to agree to this path. You have to choose it back. You could always be talented. God could always give you talents. God could always give you opportunities, but if you don't choose it back, then you're a chosen one. You're a chosen one without choosing. That doesn't make sense, right? You're chosen for something, but you're not an actual chosen one if you don't choose it back, right? So there's something here where Spirit wants you to go with this energy because you're chosen for something and you have true talent, true skills, true abilities, true intellect that is going to be not only beneficial for you on a financial level, since this is the career read, and materialistic level, because this is the career read. Not saying that that's the most important, but this is part of how we survive, right? So saying that on a career-based level, yeah, you have to keep going towards this calling. You can't get complacent. You can't get in analysis paralysis. You can't, think, oh, well, I'm scared of what other people are going to think of me. You just have to do it. You know how many times I have been ridiculed about what I do? A lot. You know how many times people have called me a witch? A lot. You know how many times people have called me evil or you're not doing of God? A lot. I did it anyway. And you guys are here in the room getting a beautiful message from me that I'm channeling from cosmic energy. This is why I do what I do. I've been like this since I was 7. I've been a black sheep. I didn't understand why I was different. I would try and talk about it, and I'd be scared to talk about it because a lot of people didn't understand what I was saying. A lot of people didn't want to talk about that stuff. Oh, don't talk about that. That's weird or that's different. It wasn't what they wanted to talk about. It wasn't of their society, right? But now we're here all in the room 2025 and I'm here doing these readings for you. So imagine what that same principle could do for your own life, right? It's not about everybody else. It's about what do you want? What do you want, collective? You are being called to a powerful, powerful position. And a lot of you guys, you already know what this is. It's a real passion of yours. Okay? So this is where you're quantum jumping into. This is the version of yourself that's going to change your whole entire environment around you and change your life for the better, for the better. Okay? So I don't want to scare you. Oh, everything's going to change. It's going to be a tower moment. No, it's changing for the better. You asked, I want to be the best version of myself. The universe is giving you that shot. They said, give us what you got and we'll match you. That's beautiful. So let's see what else is happening here when it comes to career. Spirit, can we clarify this powerful position when it comes to career? Can we clarify the power position? It's been something that y'all been thinking about, that's for sure. It's been keeping you up at night, sleepless nights, doubts, worries, fears, anxieties. The short illness card, it could mean that you're tapping into something that like patterns or behaviors with addictions, drinking, smoking, doing the whatever you do, do. But there's something here about it's unhealthy. There's something of an unhealthy mindset or an unhealthy physical thing that you're doing that is keeping you up at night because you know it's wrong or you know it doesn't align with you anymore. You know you're not matching it and you know you're being pushed into a direction. But you're like, no, because that requires sacrificing this version of myself that I created. But that's what artists do. That's what chosen ones do. That's what humans do. They evolve, they ascend. Why are you trying to hold on to an old version of yourself that no longer even resonates with you yourself? That is a self-sabotage within itself. I'm afraid to evolve and ascend. So there's this energy where I feel like you guys have been dreaming about this. For some of you guys, you've had dreams that are very vivid or are trying to tell you something, whether you understand them or not. Could be a double confirmation that this is your reading, this is your message. And for others of you, you're just scrolling on your phone in the middle of the night, like thinking about what you want to do or if you're at where you want to be at and comparing your life to other people. Spirit is saying the reason why you're doing that is because you are naturally meant to quantum jump, or you already did, and it's just a little bit scary. It's a little bit uncomfortable right now, but Spirit is about to send you all the information. This is part of the gift. They're going to send you all the knowledge, the messages, the information. So pay attention to your surroundings because you're really sensitive intuitively. You're very sensitive to the energies around you, okay? Hi, Red Elephant. It's good to see you. Junie June, you said facts. I know that's right. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Mama. It's good to see all my OGs back, my in-betweens. If you decided to quit drinking this morning and started a healthy life and you found my live as a sign that you should stick to that decision. Oh my gosh, congratulations, PJ. That's dope. Aw, thank you for sharing that in the live stream. That's beautiful. You said I'm preaching to your soul. Yeah, because I've been channeling this. You don't understand. I've been channeling this message for like 5 days now. Like I was like, no, I got to talk to the collective. So I was like, Spirit's like, just pull the cards. We'll tell you what to say to tell the collective. But this is kind of matching what I was going to say. It's a little bit more detailed. Like Spirit is helping me with this message, but I knew people were shifting. I could feel it. I could feel it. I swear to God, I could feel it on an energetic, like in my bones. I used to hate feeling stuff like that when I was younger because I knew certain things and I wouldn't say nothing because as I got older, I learned that not everybody wants to know certain things. So I will always keep it to myself and then just watch things play out. So it just sucked. But like, it's nice that I have this platform that for the last 2-3 years I've been using and I've been really resonating with y'all. So it just more confirmation that I'm in my path and power position. And I can't wait till y'all get to that point of your life with whatever niche or industry that is, because everybody's niche is going to be different. Everybody's industry, whatever you want to do is for you. You know, nothing or no one can take that from you. You're always going to be guided back to this thing where it's like, no, but what's my life path? Like, even if you try to ignore your life path, which I tried to for so long, it still keeps tapping you on the shoulder. It still keeps tugging on you, on your shirt. Like, hey, guess what? Remember that thing? Remember that thing that you can't get rid of? You remember that thing that you wanted to try or were supposed to do? It's because you're already successful in it. In another, like in the future, you already are successful of it. But it's like it's tugging on you in the present moment. You know? It's that little thing, it's that little voice that doesn't go away as much as you try to ignore it. And for some of you guys, that's what you're thinking about in the middle of the night, or that's what you're dreaming about. But yeah, the short illness card speaks of doubts, worries, anxieties, fears. It also speaks of having dreams. It also speaks of having addictions that couldn't be healthy for you. So you're meant to be called to a power position. This is what it's clarifying. It's saying in order to be in a powerful position, you have to sacrifice or let go of something. You see what I mean? So are you ready to do that, collective? I'm not here to tell you that everybody has free will, but you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who know that this is your message, you know. Yeah, there's something you're going to have to sacrifice. Okay? Very similar to the Bible, you know? Very similar to the Bible stories, or like, you know, Indian, what is that? Hindu gods and things like that. Greek mythology, they all had to sacrifice something. Yeshua had to sacrifice something. Shiva sacrificed something. You know, the Greeks, their goddess and god's energy had to sacrifice something. There's always a sacrifice here that is part of like these stories. So the sacrifice doesn't have to be so extreme, like life based, like, oh, losing my life, like unaliving. It doesn't have to be that. But what it is, it does feel like an unalive. When you have to go through like an ego death, when you have to be this new version of yourself, it does feel like a part of you has kind of unalived. But that's because you're meant to be this new version that's way better. And then you could talk about the past version of yourself and have stories. That's what old people do. We always circle around old people wanting to hear their stories. Back in my day, when I did this, that was fun, and that was da 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 da, and it was interesting, and da da da. And you kind of learn from people's past, yes. But when you're in your future top tier self, you'll have stories for days, but you won't be living that out. And those stories for days that you have to share will help other people within their own life. So a lot of what you're saying and speaking on, even though you're not in that timeline, you're helping other people who are in that timeline. Just by saying that, right? So there's something about your evolution of self is very beautiful, even though you have to sacrifice a version of yourself. That version of yourself is not completely gone. It still exists in some timeline from before. And it exists for information and knowledge for other people to have nuggets of wisdom that you could share. You see what I'm saying? It's like y'all are meant to be leaders. Y'all are meant to be these role models in different industries of your life. Like a lot of you guys do different things and you don't understand how much you're going to be a role model for certain things. Like the times are shifting. What else do we have here? What's the adventure card? What do we have here for the adventure card? The journey card. It didn't want to fly out. This one flew out though. We have the good lady and the journey. The good lady represents wise decisions, right? So you might have been contemplating, meditating, or dreaming about doing something different, or having a calling, so to speak, like that inner voice, that intuition, telling you we need to do something, we need to change, we need to sacrifice in order to be in this powerful position. And when you do that, this is a version of you, he, she, or they. You're always welcome in my space. I don't read genders on the card unless you book a personal. If you want to book a personal, the link is in the description box below. I do offer these types of readings too, like life purpose, life path. Just leave it in the notes at checkout. But that's just a sidebar. But this card means wise decisions, okay? You go from thinking and contemplating to accepting and making the first step, and you're in this wise decision, right? So that's what starts the adventure. That's what starts the quantum leap. Or for a lot of you guys, you've already quantum leaped, and now you're understanding the journey, okay? So some of you guys who have yet to embark on this journey, for others of you, you're already on it, and you're just navigating it right now, just like you would navigate your own GPS. This one is your internal compass. Your internal GPS is about to show you what type of adventure you're on, because you just made a wise decision to let go of this. You see how this wasn't serving you, but this is? Look how happy that person is to go into that. This is a representation of you, collective, making that decision to go towards this journey. It's a hot air balloon. It's about to take you to new heights. Okay? It's slow moving. The hot air balloon is slow, right? The hot air balloons don't take off like a jet or an airplane or like a fast train, you know? The hot air balloon is slow. And so this journey is going to be a slow burn into this version of yourself, or you already feel like it is. If for some of you guys, you're already on it. And this is going to bring you to your highest self. What's your highest self? Well, that best version of yourself that you've been visualizing, you've been asking spirit, you've been praying, meditating on it, you've been thinking about it occasionally, you've been dreaming about it in your dreams, right? It's that version of yourself you're slowly moving into. That's part of the adventure. So the adventure card is clarified by these two cards. And that's what this is. And so it is a slow burn, but it's successful, because when you're in this hot air balloon, you're going to see from a higher perspective of everything that everyone else is doing that you didn't really align with, everything that you used to do that you're like, why did I stay in those situations or that pattern or that habit for so long? You start seeing from a higher perspective when you start living in this high perspective, when you start going higher and higher on this hot air balloon, so to speak. The hot air balloon eventually has to descend and land to its destination. Guess what your destination is? It's this gift. It's literally landing at your higher self. You start seeing all the things you're letting go of and seeing all the other things that you held on to and seeing where you're going. And you're like, land ho. You're like, oh, shoot. Oh, snap. I'm about to be that person. Like, you get closer and closer to it and you're like, man, I feel way more better. And it's crazy because your journey might be an example to other people. Other people may want their advice and advice from you. They want to be advised by you, or they want to see how you did it. And they're asking you questions like, hey man, hey sis, like I wanna do this and this like you did. Where do I start? How did you do it? Right? There's gonna be people seeing you on your journey. Like, we see hot air balloons in the sky, but we're like, how do they do that? How do they afford that? Who are they with? And then we see them, just go off in a distance. And that's what people are going to do. They're going to just see you go off into the distance and land to your destination of this higher version of yourself. And then they're going to be like, well, how did you do it? And was it fun? And what was the challenges? And were you scared? Right? It's all the things. It's the same principle. I know I'm using a metaphor here, or a little analogy, whatever you want to call it, but it makes a lot of sense to your reading, where you're going on a quantum level, okay? Mama Ann, you said you started your YouTube, but you haven't been consistent because of fear, honestly. That's how every YouTuber starts. We're always scared. On any platform, if I'm talking to influencers here, for those of you who are influencers watching, keep going. I'm going to tell you that right now. And not only do you have to stream on this platform, you could stream on 2 platforms. But Spirit says keep going, because you're being called to do something. Whatever that thing is, you're going to figure out what that is. And your niche might change. You might start off doing one thing and you're like, actually, while I was doing that and all these different types of videos, I actually like doing this one particular type of video, this one particular type of thing. I like talking about this one particular type of thing, or experiencing this with other people. Right? Whatever it is that you do. And so Spirit is saying, just keep doing that. Okay? There's going to be growth. Okay? And do it with fear. That's okay if you're scared. You're allowed to be scared. That's a human emotion. But don't let the fear hold you back, because that's not human. Being held back isn't human. I feel like humans were always supposed to move forward, right? Look at society. Society has built and grown on these foundations, and it's moved forward, whether it's for our greatest good or not. It's been evolving. I mean, we don't live in teepees anymore. You feel me? So we're going forward. So just keep, implementing, and you'll end up getting consistent. The more you practice consistency, the more you will be consistent. The more you practice doing things with fear, the more you'll end up being fearless. Right? So then there's that. Hi, Zaza. How you doing? It's good to see you up in the building. No problem, Akia. You a lifestyle content creator. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, send me your YouTubes, you guys. I would love to follow you guys back. Support the channels. Y'all support me every day. All right, let's get it. What do we have here for the message of the gifts card? Now we're going to clarify this card. And then after this is over. Okay? We're going to get into the love portion of the read. All right. So this is the last one we're clarifying. What else do we have here? Wow. You know what this clarified? Oh my God. This is crazy. I love it. I love it when this happens. Look at this. Y'all, look at this. I can't even. It says gifts. And it says high honors. I tell you what, you are about to be highly honored, blessed, and favored. You are already. You might not think you have nothing right now, collective. Or maybe you think like, oh, what you have right now is stagnant. It's not moving. But Spirit is saying, you are blessed and highly favored. Like you are moving, even though, even in the moments that you feel like you're not moving or you're not changing or nothing's changing, your body is moving. Your mind is moving. Your soul is literally calling you. Like everything is still functioning. Your heart's still beating, right? You're still moving. It's just like there's this information coming through that you just haven't received what it is that you expect yet. But Spirit is saying, we're about to give that to you. That's why we want you to sacrifice something. You have to let go of something that you are harboring within you or outside of you in your environment in order to be on this adventure of change. In order to be this person. This is the highest version of yourself. Where did this person go? They got on the hot air balloon. I'm reading this like a child's book because it literally is that simple, right? Spirit is giving it to us so simple. This person goes on a hot air balloon. They go to new heights and then they land to their destination of this gift, talent, skill, ability, or opportunity in order to be recognized and be successful. And this is their higher version of their self. This is the best version of you. This is what that looks like. Now you can really celebrate, right? That cup is fulfilled with new opportunities, maybe more money, some materialistic gain, okay? And also inner fulfillment, because that's abundance within itself. It's not all about the money or the material things. You also feel fulfilled on the inside. Because now when you show up for work, or now when you show up for your own business or whatever it is that you do, now you're like, I feel fulfilled. I'm happy to show up every day for this. I feel free. It's financial freedom. Mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially. Right? So there's this inner spiritual self that's like calling to you to be this person. But you're like, how do I navigate this? Well, there's something holding you back like a paperweight. You have to let it go. And whatever that thing is, it's going to be different for everybody. But you guys already know what it is. For others of you, you already let go of this paperweight, so to speak, of your life or of you. And you're in this journey. You're just trying to navigate it. I'm showing you where you're about to be. I'm about to put it up again. This is where you're about to be. Highly blessed and favored. You're reaching your destination of your higher self. You are literally this close. So Spirit doesn't want you to give up or get discouraged or think you're on the wrong path just because things are stagnant right now. Right when you're about to have something new, everything stops. Think about your life. Just reflect on it for a second. Right when you had this biggest accolade or this brand new thing, how were you feeling before you got that? You were feeling like it wasn't going to happen. You were feeling like, maybe you were on the wrong path. You were feeling like your life was stagnant or your money was stagnant or you weren't nothing. You were feeling low. You were feeling depressed. And then boom, something amazing happens. It's usually the descend is when we're about to ascend. But we have to keep going because if we keep descending, then we'll eventually ascend. But if we keep ourselves in this descension mode and we just sit there and we stop our energetic car, we're not going to get up the hill. We're not going to get up to this higher version of ourselves. We're not going to get that opportunity because we're going to think that that was it. Oh, I just lived my life. Okay, I guess that's all it was. I guess I'll just stay here and do this forever. No, that's not how it works. The butterfly in the chrysalis, in the cocoon, didn't say I was going to just stay in this cocoon forever. Nope. I know I got these wings. I'm in a dark place right now. I'm just going to stay in this cocoon forever. I don't know how to navigate. I don't know how to not be a caterpillar. I'd rather be a caterpillar than whatever I'm supposed to be. Like the butterfly cracks out of that cocoon and flies. Like, do you understand the evolution of a butterfly? Like going from a land creature to all of a sudden having wings. Do you know how much of a transformation that is? That's crazy. But that's what you're going through. That's the quantum jump. Does this make sense? I hope this is making sense. Let's get into your love portion of the read, you guys. If you want to timestamp when I started the love portion of the read, leave it in the comments below or in the live chat stream. That'll really help me be able to timestamp quickly these readings after the live stream so everybody can get their messages. But this is the career version of the read, okay? This is what Spirit is really guiding you to do, because everything about your life is going to change. I'm here to confirm and clarify that what you're feeling is okay. Where you're at right now is exactly where you need to be. And where you want to go is exactly what you need to be doing and feeling and responding on. Okay. So this is all of your double confirmation to your reading. I hope this part of the career reading helped and you will be successful. I'm seeing your cup here. This is the Holy Grail that you're cheersing to the universe with. You are about to receive. I promise you that. Once you start doing your real passions. And like I said, this card here, and I got to cover it up for YouTube purposes, but it says, stop wasting your time at dead-end jobs. Find your true passion. It's fine to experiment, but don't settle for less than what you truly deserve, because the outside forces around you or the expectations you have on things aren't moving as quickly as you want it to will hold you back. So that's what this is talking about, collective. I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the read. Let's get into your love spread. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source, for the highest good. I'm just going to push these cards out the way. I'm not going to clear it out because I might need these cards. They might resonate later. Okay. Yes, Mama Ann, she said in all caps, congratulations to everyone on this journey. We on a new level, period. And for some of you guys, like I said, you're already on this path. But for others of you, you're contemplating it. And I'm here to help everybody in between, okay? From beginning to end. So this is the message I've been channeling. Hey, Giggles, you're going to follow Mama Ann. Rise University. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that's a fire. That's a fire handle for YouTube. Okay. That's fire. Leave it in the comments too. Leave it in the comments so everybody in the comments can see. That's dope. Y'all are so cool. Hi, Selena. Good to see you in the chat. Love reading starts at 1:38. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into the love portion. Let's get into the love portion of the read. Let's see what's going on in love romance. For some of you guys, this won't be romantic relationships. For some of you guys, this could be platonic relationships. So take it how it resonates. It could be relationships to like people who you work with or who you work for. It could be your friends. It could be your family members. So that's what I mean by platonic. For others of you, this will be romance. So it could be the dating scene, or it could be someone who you're with, or it could be about an ex. So take it how it resonates. If you need a personal reading, you can always book a personal reading with me. The link is in the description box below. Let's get it. What do we have here for the collective read? What are you saying about them quantum jumping when it comes to love and romance or relationships closest to them? What are you saying about this, Spirit? What is it that's coming up for the collective when it comes to this type of reading? They're telling me to switch the Oracle deck, so I'm going to actually switch it to this one. They just made me, like, in my mind's eye, they were like, switch. I was like, okay. And then they showed me what cards to switch to. So we're going to these romance and love cards. Let's get it. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source, for the highest good for the collective. What do we have when it comes to love and romance or the relationships closest to them? What are they quantum leaping towards? Quantum jumping towards? What have they already have quantum jump towards for some? Can we get the messages for their highest good? Ashe. Relax. Find joy in the simple pleasures of just being together. So we have the relax card. A lot of you may be feeling anxious, worried, rushed, insecure, uncertain when it comes to love romantically, or when it comes to relationships closest to you. Maybe the pressures of other people, friends, family members, coworkers, employers. Spirit is saying relax, okay? So however this resonates for you, Spirit wants you to relax, find time to recharge. For some of you guys, you need to sleep more. You're not getting enough sleep. You're not getting enough rest. So then you're restless. You can't sleep at night. You're restless during the day. You're anxious. You're moving around. Your brain's not thinking and ticking the way it normally does. Your brain and your mind and your thoughts are cloudy. You can't make clear judgment. You can't make decisions. It's hard for you to. Everything's kind of like foggy. Spirit is saying the more you sleep, the more you relax, the more you rest, the more you meditate or take naps throughout the day. If you can't fully get it 8 hours, taking a nap is really going to help you find the answers to the relationships closest to you. For some of you guys, you need to enjoy quality time with yourself. And for others of you, you need to enjoy quality time with others. So I don't know if the quality time is, it's like this is going to help better your relationships. The reason why I'm saying this, because I don't know if the quality time is conditional. For some of you guys, you might be spending time with a person of love interest or a person of your relationship groups around you. It may be conditional, like, oh, I hang out with you or I do this for you just for this. It may be an exchange. And Spirit is saying, just enjoy the simple pleasures of being together unconditionally. So this is what you're quantum jumping into, this unconditional, genuine time together that is not conditioned to, oh, I receive something when I do this. It's more of just like, I show up because I want to, rather than showing up because I know I have to receive something or I'm collecting on something. You don't show up and hang out with somebody to collect. You show up just to be. And something about being in the present moment is also highly aspected here when it comes to the relationship to others or to a particular person. Very interesting. What else am I getting, Spirit? What else do you have for them, for the collective, when it comes to the love portion of the read? Voids. Avoid rushing. See, it says it right here. Avoid rushing to fill voids with love. Seek inner fulfillment first. For some of you, when it comes to love and romance or the relationships closest to you platonically, you guys, you're rushing to fill a void with love, to feel love, to be loved. Spirit is saying avoid that. Seek inner fulfillment first. If you don't feel in alignment to whatever it is that you're trying to align to when it comes to relationships, go within and make sure you're all the way right first before continuing in a connection. Because that connection may or may not be right for you. But the only way you find that out is by going within and reevaluating, should this person have access to me? Am I only allowing this person to have access to me because of this, this, and this? Or is it because I really want to show up and I really want to be there? Being your authentic self, being real with yourself, being genuine with yourself is the only way that you're going to get out of this void. Somebody could be wearing a mask. That could be you or other people around you or a particular person. So take it how it resonates. If you feel like somebody's wearing a mask or if you're the one wearing a mask, Spirit is saying, figure out why you feel as though you can't be your authentic self. Figure out why you feel as though you need to keep this narrative that you don't really resonate with anymore, but you need to keep it going to impress someone else or impress others. So Spirit is saying here, avoid rushing love, avoid rushing relationships, avoid rushing decisions to do things, especially if you don't feel like you're 100% gung-ho with it. Especially if you feel like there's a doubt. Spirit is saying you're more important to figure out first before everything else and everybody else. So be honest with yourself and others. That's really going to get you a lot further than trying to continue a narrative that you no longer even resonate with. For some of you guys, you're avoiding seeing the truth within yourself and others. For others of you, you've already activated that, so you graduated from this void. So for others of you, you already done this work. You've already gotten to answers. That's your quantum jump. But for others of you, you're in the middle of jumping. Like, think of a video game. You know how when you're playing Mario and he's like in the sky before he lands? It's like you're in the sky right now before you land on that platform. And you level up. Boop, boop, boop. You know? So there's this energy. I love video games, y'all. There's this energy of like, for some of you, you've already done this, but for others of you, you're in the midst of doing this and you're trying to still navigate it, and that's okay. Spirit is saying in order for you to get the full answers, you have to relax. You have to get more sleep. You have to be more in solitude to figure this out. If you're not where you want to be, you have to be honest with yourself with this. It'll help you be open and honest to others about how you feel about the relationships with them. It could be family members, friends. It could be a romantic partner. It could be a workplace dynamic. But in order for you to be fulfilled when it comes to the relationships closest to you, you have to be honest with yourself. I feel like for a lot of you guys, you're trying to carry the narrative that like everything's okay. It's not. Because I see that you're avoiding something. You're either willingly avoiding something or you don't know that you're doing this. And so your whole life is about to change. Everything is about to change. Sabrina, you said, come on, double tap. Yes, double tap that screen. Bring them lights up. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for adding that to the chat. I'm so into this collective read. I'm not even thinking about all that stuff. So, but thank you. Thank you for the reminder. You said 11:44, 1:44 on the clock. You guys are seeing 144, the angel number for collective chosen ones. So that's the chosen one message. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, for some of you guys, you've been seeing a lot of 144 because you guys are seeing it now. So that means that the collective as a whole, whoever resonates with this message, could be clocking 144 a lot. You could be seeing that a lot on the clock or just in real life. Like maybe your total on a receipt turns out to be $1.44 or $14.44, something like that. What else do we have here when it comes to love and romance or relationships closest to the collective? Sacrifice. Oh my God. We talked about that in the career portion of the read. If you didn't check out the career portion of the read, rewind this reading, you guys, if you're just now coming into the room. We talked about sacrifice. Yeah. It says here, love may come with sacrifices. Evaluate what you're willing to give up. For some of you guys, that is exactly what you are avoiding seeing or being in the energy of. You see what I'm saying? There's a part of yourself, and for some of you guys, you already did this sacrifice. So if you did, you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. This is just your double confirmation to this reading. This means that this is your reading. But for those of you who need this message, who are confused or in the midst of this change, yes, you are going to need to sacrifice certain things when it comes to your patterns, your habits, your behaviors, your addictions, your obsessions, or something like that within. Because remember, we're going within. We're having inner fulfillment first with this card. You need to do this. This is what Spirit is calling you to do when it comes to relationships closest to you. Evaluate what you're willing to give up. And that's not sacrificing a version of yourself. That's not saying, oh, well, I'm going to sacrifice, this version of myself where I like painting because I got to move into this new version of myself. No, you could still be an artist. You could still paint. You could still do your thing. But Spirit is saying, what are you sacrificing? Maybe you're sacrificing a little bit of time from that hobby or endeavor to spend time quality with somebody else, especially if you find yourself wanting to pursue something with them, right? So there's something of like, and that's just an example. That's not going to be for everybody. But, there's something here you're going to recognize within yourself. For some of you guys, it's your ego, you're sacrificing a little bit of your pride and ego. You're putting that down a little bit so that way you could show up for someone else, or you could show up for yourself in a way where you're not acting superior. So, and that could be in the workplace, right? Those are relationship dynamics in the workplace. So whether this is platonic or romantic, you're going to find out what you're sacrificing. For some of you guys, if it has to do with romance, I see certain few of you sacrificing, like, a part of yourself that maybe you're hurt from past relationships. You're going to finally let that go. Emotional baggage. You're not going to allow it to hover and to hinder a new connection. So there's different things here, okay, that you're looking at within, so you could change your circumstances and your environment outside of you when it comes to relationships, okay? Whether it's platonic or romantic. So take that how it resonates. So yeah, there is going to be a sacrifice here. You're avoiding sacrificing something. For some of you, you did have mentioned, I think a few of you or one of you in the chat here, I think it was PJ, you decided to stop drinking. You on this journey of quitting drinking is actually the sacrifice. You're already quantum jumping into a version of yourself where you're probably going to meet your counterpart because of you letting go of a pattern or a behavior that no longer serves you. It was fun. You lived the life. You could say, you had that good time, but your inner self is trying to get you to a new version of yourself where these substances could be holding you back from getting work done, being productive, from waking up early or going to bed early. It's holding you back somehow, some way, right? It could be holding you back on a spiritual level. All that sugar and the alcohol maybe is blocking your pineal gland, your third eye. It's blocking your intuition. It's blocking your ability to make clear decisions. So there's something here where this sacrifice is not only physical, it's also spiritual. And so for a lot of you guys, you're meant to go into this journey, right? And so for some of you, that's what your sacrifice is. We talked about that in career. We're talking about it in love. So that's what this message is saying here, okay? Let's get into, if you guys are dealing with someone in love and romance, let's get into this person, this energy. If you do have a connection of some sort, whether you guys are official with a title, or you've been together for a long time, or whether you're in an it's complicated situation, as long as you have somebody in mind for the read, this may resonate with you. This part of the read, this next part we're getting into for the quantum leap. What is it that the relationship energy saying here for the collective who have somebody on the mind for this reading? So think about your person while I'm shuffling. The person you have on your mind. And we're going to channel how they feel about the connection. We're going to channel what the dynamic between the two of you are in the connection. We're also going to, if it's no contact and it's somebody who you're in no contact with, we're also going to get those messages as well. What do we have here for the collective when it comes to the quantum jump message where everything changes? I hope you guys are enjoying this read as much as I'm enjoying and doing it for you. Crystal, you asked me a question. You said, can I ask what your biggest challenge or fear was when you were creating your YouTube channel? What other people will think? Being judged. That was my biggest challenge or fear. It was being judged. My fear was to be judged by my closest peers, people closest to me. And my biggest challenge was to be comfortable creating content. Be comfortable talking about my own opinions or belief system or things like that. That was my biggest challenge. My biggest challenge was also to just post that first video. Posting your first 1 or 2 or 3 videos is the biggest challenge as well, because you want them to be perfect. You want them to look nice. You want to edit them to perfection, and then they only get like 3 views. And then you're like ticked off because you put so much energy into it. Yeah, just post. Just don't worry about all that other extra ish. Just do it. Because all that's not going to matter. I promise you. I promise you. But yeah, to answer Crystal's question, that was a good question in the chat. Yeah. Hopefully that helped. Yeah, I was worried about what other people thought. It's not what strangers was going to think. is what my peers were going to think, because I had a lot of friends and family members who followed me on social media. So that was the first thing. I was like, nah, they're going to know. They're going to know. I was scared. But all of that, I realized that, like, I can't be scared of what other people think, because I'm not living this life for other people. I'm living it for myself. The creator created me to create, right? And so if I'm going to create my own reality and create my own abundance and create all these things that I desire, those people who are around me in my environment are either going to be with me, or they're not going to be with me. And that's okay. I had to accept that that would be okay if family members or friends would support me or not support me. Because at the end of the day, I knew that I was supposed to be doing what I was supposed to be doing, or I knew I was going to be successful at what I was doing. Like, there's that inner voice that's way stronger than the voices around you. I'm going to say that again. Your inner voice is way stronger than the voices outside of you and around you in your environment. I promise you that. Follow the internal compass. We have here the card that came out, addiction. No problem, Crystal. We have addiction here. It says codependent, obsession and restraint, possession and control, emotional blocks. So it could be any one of these things, these words on this card for you that could resonate. It could be all these words on the card. But yeah, that's the sacrifice we were talking about, you guys. You see? Sacrificing addictions or patterns, thought patterns, behaviors. It could just be you talking down on yourself. It could be your own self-sabotage. It could be that you don't think you're good enough. It could be your insecurities. It could be your childhood wounds. It could be your current present moment in a relationship. It could be your addictions to substance abuse. It could be any little thing. Whatever this is, it's creating an emotional block. And so when we talk about the person who you're with, either they're being like this or you're being like this. But when we're going in this portion of the reading for love and relationships closest to you, this is either you or them, whoever you have on your mind. There's a particular emotional block. There's a restraint here. There's a codependency or an obsession or an addiction here. It's something here that's holding the relationship back from growing, from getting to the next level. And it's something that needs to be communicated between you and your partner, or that needs to be realized if you're in no contact with this person. That means that if you're in no contact with this person and say things fell off and this is the person you have in mind when this card comes out, it just means that you need to accept that this person has emotional blockages and codependency issues that they need to handle first before you guys can have a relationship. Because if not, it's going to put you down. All right? Or vice versa. If you felt like, you went in no contact with somebody, it's just reading you to filth, so to speak, right? To tell you, you got to get it together if you want to be with this person, So whoever it is here, either you or them, there's an emotional block here. And for two people, they could have emotional blockages, but they just handle them differently. It requires communication or understanding from a distance. If you guys are in no contact, it requires this understanding or understanding of each other from a distance. Now, for those of you who are in contact with this person still, it requires an understanding of like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's communicate this, because this is an issue. And we can't ascend or evolve or be the best version of ourselves within the union if we don't address this. And so a lot of us, we try to avoid conversations. We try to avoid, all that stuff because we want to have fun and we just want to do this and that and be all whoop-de-whoop. But we can't do all that and have fun if there's still problems, because those problems are just going to be at the foundation. It's like having termites and ignoring that you have termites in your foundation of your home. At some point, your home is going to literally fall apart. It's literally going to crumble. You're going to be going up the stairs and boom, your foot falls into the stairs. Okay? You have to understand how to address things early on, or just in general. Just talk about it. Because if you don't, it's going to be like termites to a relationship, and then that's going to crumble and fall and create, so to speak, a tower moment. Okay? If you're trying to avoid having more problems, challenges, or issues in your relationship, all it does require is communication. You'd be surprised how much communication and conversations go far in a connection. and handle certain problems. But a lot of us naturally want to avoid that because we don't know how to bring it up. We don't know how to start it. We're afraid of what that person's going to think. We're afraid the relationship's going to end. Well, guess what? If the relationship ends and you talked about something that was really important to you, then that wasn't your person. That wasn't your relationship. Okay? Or it wasn't meant to be. And it's not to be ignorant, but it's just to say that you have to recognize your worth. Your person or who's for you is going to accept you for all of you or none of you. Whether you're perfect and put together or whether you got flaws and you're beautifully flawed. There's something here that you have to understand your worth, collective. You are not going to settle for less just because you're a little bit flawed, or just because you're afraid of bringing something up, or just because they're flawed and you're afraid to make them feel uncomfortable. You're not in a relationship to make your other person feel comfortable. You're in a relationship because you want to be, not because you need to be, right? We're not getting paid to be in a relationship to make that other person feel comfortable, okay? There are going to be moments of your relationship where things have to be uncomfortable in order for you guys to grow and ascend and evolve together. Because relationships at the end of the day aren't comfortable. If you're comfortable in a relationship, then there's something going wrong. I tell you what, I'm about to tell you something so serious. Like, it's like being comfortable in a job. If you're comfortable working where you're at, that means that you just held yourself at that position of not growing. That means that the people you work around don't really value you. That means that you are accepting being paid $7 an hour when you know that you're worth at least $20 an hour. Your work ethic shows for it. You showing up for work on time shows for it. You being an employee of the month shows for it, but then you still get $7. What? It's the same principle when it comes to love, right? It's just not monetary. It's energy when it comes to love. And so, like, you have to recognize your worth. If you feel as though someone's not accepting you for you, or that you are conversating and trying to make things work out, then it's probably because you or this person aren't meant to be together, or you and this person aren't ready for this type of commitment yet. And it's okay to ascend from that and go in a new direction. Because ascending from that and moving on from that relationship, you might meet somebody else. Most likely, you're going to meet somebody else. Not even might. Most likely, 9 times out of 10, you meet somebody else who's way better for you. And you're wondering why you kept yourself in a relationship for so long, because you were recognizing your worth. You were trying to realize, like, who you were in that relationship. So yeah, that relationship taught you something. It may have not been the best lesson. It may have not have looked the best, but it taught you something, because without that lesson, you wouldn't have evolved. You wouldn't have known your worth. Sometimes we're in relationships to recognize certain thing and to know our worth, right? And so when you're quantum jumping, a lot of this has to do with this sacrifice. Realizing this mentality, realizing what the actual relationship is, realizing how this person really feels about you, realizing whatever addiction or behavior that you or this person has that's toxic and is emotionally blocking the connection, and where you guys stand. So that's what I have here for you. And this could have to do with not just love, but also platonic relationships like family members or friends. So take this how it resonates, because a lot of this emotional block can come from other relationships that aren't romantic. Hi Jana, how you doing? You said it's almost been 5 years. You can't get over your ex. Yeah, it's giving that as well. This is part of your sacrifice. It's a emotional blockage, right? It's that emotional baggage you're working through. But even you admitting that is the first step. That is tough. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Crystal. Hey, Yoka. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. What do we have here for the collective? Wow. For a lot of you guys, when you think about whoever it is that you have on your mind, whether you're in contact or not, a lot of you guys, what's happening here is unconditional love. Okay? You might hate this person. You might demise this person. You might have, certain baggage, or maybe you feel guilty when it comes to this person. Maybe you feel a little bit of guilt. There's unconditional love emerging from you healing this resentment or this guilt or this why me, or dang, I can't get over this, right? Or this person. There's unconditional love emerging. It emerges within yourself first. So you guys are quantum jumping into an unconditional loving state. It's like no matter what you go through with past people, you will always have unconditional love for yourself and others, and you look forward to the next connection. Instead of holding resentment, you start to look forward to the next connection, right? Unconditional love, you're going to get to a point. I see a future version of a lot of the collective getting to a point where they can give and receive fair love between them and their person because of the lessons from past lovers, from old experiences, from the affection that wasn't returned, that's going to be returned tenfold with a new person, a new experience. For some of you guys, there's certain relationships falling away, like romantic partners, friends, or family members. Those relationships are going to kind of like not necessarily die. For some of you, they just might get dry. And so that's going to be your sign to see if these relationships still resonate with you, because you might be being called to level up, and these people aren't ready to level up in their life. They're not ready to let go of certain addictions or circumstances or relationships that could be toxic to them. And so you might not like that or realize that they're projecting this negativity onto you. And so if you're feeling uncomfortable, it makes me feel like you're going to have unconditional love for those people from a distance and hold your healthy boundary and move up. So you're still leveling up, but you're holding the space for compassion and unconditional love for them at a distance, even if you guys are on two different playing fields with love and relationships and learning from those experiences. For some of you in the collective, you may have friends or family members who are still in toxic relationships or still are in toxic cycles with their person, thinking that, oh, that's just how relationships are. They're healthy. It's healthy to be like that. They're not perfect. Yeah, relationships aren't perfect, but it also doesn't mean that you have to settle for less or continue to keep being treated like SHIT. You know what I'm saying? So there's a point that needs to shift. And right when we're about to make that change and get out of a toxic relationship, boom, we get right back into it. Why? Because it's comfortable. Why? Because it's familiar. And we talked about that. Relationships aren't supposed to be comfortable. When you feel comfortable going back to the same person who is doing you dirty, that's how you know that you were this close to changing your whole entire life, but you went back into the cycle. And now you're negative. Now you're in a toxic relationship. Now you're toxic to yourself and this person. And now you're not ascending. Now you're not evolving. Now you just probably missed out on your soulmate, your actual person who you could have met. That's why it's important to recognize the relationships around you, right? And so if you, collective, are around people who are like that, what is that saying about you and the relationships you're attracting? Right? You may have people around you not being supportive of your relationship. Or if they are supportive of your relationship, they may be supportive on the outside, but on the inside, they're envious of it. You just don't know. So you got to be careful about the environment you have around you while you're trying to ascend to this better version of yourself, right? From the inside out, this unconditional love from the inside out. A lot of you guys are supposed to be the role model, but you keep going back towards these environments or these people while you're trying to have something new. You're still in the habits of their habits. You don't recognize that you are the definition of the first 5 people or the only 5 people, the closest 5 people to you. And if misery loves company and 4 out of those 5 people are all miserable, what is that saying about you? You're miserable about something. Whether you show it on the outside or not, on the inside, you're going to struggle with that. So Spirit is saying, blow a kiss to yourself, right? Spirit is saying that things get sweeter. Things get more romantic. Things are more reciprocated. Things are more fair when it comes to love. Things are returned to you like affection and unconditional love when you are unconditionally loving of yourself and the relationships around you, okay? It's not saying that you can't be in connections with these people. It's just saying that, sometimes it requires you to let go to create a healthy boundary of what's acceptable and what's unacceptable. Because what you allow is what continues. For a lot of you guys, you don't understand that some of you the people around you or your actual romantic partner could hold you back in other areas of your life, like your spirituality or your belief system or your finances. They could hold you back in your life because of who they are and how they are and what they say to you and what they project onto you. And then you adopt it as your own and you think that this is you, this is who you are, or you think that like you got to show up for them, and like you start sacrificing certain things that's not what the sacrifice card is about. So you guys really have to go within, and I feel like a lot of you are. So this quantum jump, getting back to the quantum jump, that your whole environment is changing. Yeah, there's going to be relationships that fall away. And there's ones that are going to be falling together. But you got to figure out which ones those are. And a lot of this navigation might be a little bit scary, might be a little bit stressful, might feel a little sad, might feel a little bit like, wow, like, OGB, you're right. I do need to yada, yada, yada with this person, or get rid of this type of behavior or this group of people. It is holding me back from my higher self, or my or how I could be in a better relationship to my person, or how I could be a better relationship to others who actually deserve my time, energy, or coin. So it's like, you're going to understand this, and I say this with love. You're going to understand this as time goes on, okay? And for those of you who have let go of certain relationships, you're on the right path. For those of you who have closed things out or created healthy boundaries, you're on the right path. They might make you feel uncomfortable. They might be like, oh, you changed. Your answer to that is supposed to be yes. Yes, I actually did change. Yeah, I changed. You're not changing. The seasons change all the time. You don't think you're supposed to change? We're all changing. A baby doesn't stay a baby forever. We're all supposed to change. What are you talking about? I changed. Absolutely. Your answer to that, if somebody says, oh, you changed, or you're acting different, or you're moving funny, or you're different, it's because there's a part of themselves where they don't have boundaries. People who don't have boundaries will tell you about the boundaries that you're setting, and they'll be like, oh, you changed. No, you just created healthy boundaries. Those people don't have boundaries, so they're not going to respect yours because they don't have their own. They just let their freak flag fly. They just let themselves do whatever they want. Or they just stay in karmic cycles and relationships. And it's like, if you feel like you don't resonate with these people anymore, it doesn't mean you have to be around them. Right? So there's that energy. So whoever this is to you, whether it's a family member, friend, or a romantic partner, there is something that's falling away so that you can quantum jump into this new version of yourself. But until you do that, there's no way you can quantum jump into this new version of yourself on a love level. What else is another card here, Spirit? Jana, you laughing at the freak flag fly? Thank you so much, Mama Ann. You say get them likes up. I'm not even paying attention. Thank you guys for being the real ones. Change is good. Change is good. If I stayed in the romantic relationship that I was in, that I thought was romantic, but it was abusive, if I would have stayed in that, you guys, I wouldn't be here with you guys today. I would be back in the cycle with them, trying to prove myself to them, and that I am good enough for this and that I'm good enough for the things they wanted me to do. No, change is good. It's good to evolve. It's good to ascend. It's good to change. The butterfly changes into a butterfly from a caterpillar. That was good, because now they don't see from a ground level. They see above, and they see where they can go, and they see how beautiful life is, and they see all the things of where they used to be, and now they see who they are, and they see all the other little caterpillars, and they're like, hey, you're gonna become a butterfly too. Just keep going. Like, now they're motivators. Now they're the role model. You feel me? So it's like, that's the same. You're supposed to change, baby. You feel me? So yeah, your answer is, yeah, I did change. And I hope you do too. That's your answer to these people. I hope you do evolve. I hope you do get out of that situation. I hope you do better. I mean, it took me a while. I was scared. I was lonely. I had to go in solitude, but I'm here for you, bro. Sis, clock it. Like, I got you. But yeah, I gotta stay at a distance from you right now because I'm moving into better things, or I'm moving into another chapter of my life, and I don't think that this is resonating anymore with us. Sometimes it requires that, but that conversation is hard to have. And what is that? The void. That's what you're avoiding, collective. You could have better relationships around you if you're more honest and authentic, but it's hard. For some of you guys, you're like, well, I can't talk to my family member like that. They won't understand. It's okay if they don't understand in the moment. They're not meant to. But you saying that triggers something within them to get it, so that they are meant to understand and evolve and ascend just like you are. It's planting a seed. It's planting a mustard seed. That mustard seed still got to grow. They got to water it. They're going to think about it. You ever think about what somebody has told you, like a role model or a parent or whoever you look up to? You ever hear them say something profound, and then you think about it for like a week, and then you're like, I forgot about it. And then 6 months later, you're like, that thing I thought about, that thing that person said, that did hit home. You just randomly think about it 6 months later. You see what I'm saying? And now you want to make a change in your life. You see what I'm saying? It's planting that mustard seed. I'm telling you, you guys, you be the role model and you don't even know. For some of you, your relationships around you get better when you're your authentic self and you're not in your own self-sabotage or your own addictions. You see what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of you guys are quantum jumping out of. This void that you keep yourself in, this cycle. Wow, we have clock. Look at this. Hi, Dalius. Thank you for being here. You said most people around you had that conversation now, and you're starting nursing school, building these better friendships. Congratulations. That's beautiful. Hi, Stephanie. Yeah, it's just maturing. Exactly. That's beautiful. But that's literally how it starts. The conversations are tough, but I feel like if your friends or your family members or your romantic partner is really for you, they're going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I don't like what you're saying to me right now, but I know you're right. And a part of me is just resisting, and I know I'm not perfect and I got to get it together and I respect you. Like, that's a real family member support. That's a real friend support. That's a real romantic partner support. When they listen and they accept it, even though it's difficult. If they cop in an attitude, that's how you know they're not ready for that information. And that's how you know they were toxic to you. And it's a good riddance thing for right now. It don't mean that you have to be in no contact forever. People change, right? You're changing, so people change. They might reach out to you and be like, you know what? That one thing you told me 2 years ago, I finally understand what you're talking about. This, and this happened in my life, and I get it now. You see what I'm saying? But it took you to do that. Could you imagine if they never met you? They wouldn't even be thinking that. That's what we talk about when we talk about this love connections. Hi, Jan. How you doing? We have here clock. So it says needing time, cycles. Ooh, look, it says cycles. I just realized that. Cycles, and takes time to heal, progressing. Yeah, so this healing right here with love and romance, or with your relationships closest to you, there's a lot healing here. And as you can see on the card depicted here is a hourglass. The hourglass, we always think the sand is moving slow, but the sand is actually going per second. So even though it looks like it's moving slow, it's actually getting somewhere. So it makes me feel like you're progressing, or the people around you, or your romantic partnership, or a person at a distance in no contact. They're going through their healing. You're going through your healing. And that things are slowly progressing, and that it takes time to end cycles for new beginnings to emerge. And it's okay. It's okay. So for a lot of you guys, you're going to recognize this with people who you're in no contact with, or people who you are in contact with, whether they're romantic or platonic. There's something here healing and changing and progressing. I feel like a lot of you guys are recognizing what it is that you're letting go of, and you're ready to make that leap, that jump. You're ready to take that step forward, have those conversations. You're ready to expand. And in doing this, you're going to heal. And in doing that, you're going to attract true relationships closest to you, better partnerships, or a better relationship to the person who you had to tell them about themselves, So you're going to build stronger bonds because of your authenticity in this, and accepting what is, accepting what you are merging into. So let's get into the last message here in love, and then we'll move on to a spiritual message towards the end. I'm going to timestamp this. I know we started the love reading at 10:40. I think Zaza put 10:40. It started the love reading. When we get to the spiritual reading portion of the read here, you guys, in the live stream, let me know the timestamp when we start the spiritual version. We're going to pull some more love cards, and then we're going to get into the spiritual version in a moment. Okay? Thank you guys for being here. Because you're embarrassed of what you have become. There's no need to be embarrassed. I just said that like 2 days ago. 2 days ago to somebody, I was just talking to them, and I was like, I'm embarrassed. And they're like, for what? What are you embarrassed about? I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm embarrassed, you know? I was too embarrassed to tell the person that I do what I do on live stream. I don't know why, because I tell everybody else. It's because I cared about what they thought. You don't have to be embarrassed about who you truly are. Embrace who you truly are. And then while you're saying it, you can be embarrassed if you want to, but own it. Own that embarrassment. Don't let the embarrassment like make you feel like, oh, you can't, like, because that person is either going to be there or they're not. I wonder if that person's watching right now, child, because I just gave them my YouTube channel just yesterday. They probably in the live stream right now. Hey. Whatever. Hi, Ella. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Marissa. Crystal. There's another Crystal in the chat. You spell it with a K. What's up, Baddie? You said Virgo in the house. I know that's right. Get it. We got Letty coming in. It's good to see you. You guys, thank you for being here. I'm seeing all the familiar faces. Ooh, my whole gang is in the building. Gang, 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 gang. All right, let's get this last love message. Let's see what's really going on here in love and romance and what you're quantum jumping from. Wow. For a lot of you guys, you're quantum jumping from the past. Past relationship, emotionally or physically leaving someone behind. Now, this could be friends, family member, or a romantic partner that no longer serves your highest good. Hi, Giota. You said you from Greece? Giota? Or is it Giota? Thank you for being here. Hey. I love being global. You guys always tell me where you're at. I got my South African cuties in the building. My girlies. And then I got you from Greece, G. Thank you for being here, G. Shout out to Greece. Hi, Tamika. So this message right here is that it's a depiction of you. So this is you collective. He, she, or they. You're always welcome in my space. But you're the one on the horse. And whoever these people are, or a person here, you're leaving behind. Okay? You're meant to ascend. You're meant to go towards better things for you. You might have met somebody collective, someone new, or like a new friend or a new lover that is activating this within you. It's making you want to become a better person. It's making you want to move forward. And other people might have their arms crossed. They might have their arms crossed like, well, why are you leaving? Oh, because of that person? You changed. That's the first thing someone who's insecure, who doesn't have boundaries, is going to tell you. That's the first person who's in a toxic environment or a relationship that's going to tell you that you changed. And that they don't agree with your decision, or they think someone's influencing you in a bad way. That's the first thing they're going to say to you, because they're projecting their own insecurity, their own unfulfillment. They're not fulfilled. So that's the first thing they're going to say. You're going to know. You're going to know. The way people respond to you, you're going to know. So there's something here about you moving forward in your life that other people have their arms crossed about or have their head tilted about. Are you sure? Yeah. So there's something about that energy. For some of you guys, you're emotionally, if you're not physically releasing people, places, things, then you're emotionally releasing this baggage. So a lot of you guys who have already left an ex, or certain people that you just feel like you didn't resonate with, you don't really vibe with them no more. You're emotionally releasing that baggage, so that way you could be present in relationships that are good for you now. So for some of you, it's an emotional thing that you're letting go of. And for others of you, it's physical. What else do we have here? Yeah, you're going towards passion. You see where this horse is going? It's safe for you to love in this direction than the one that you were in. So for some of you guys, this is talking about your past relationship in love. But you could take it as a platonic message. But for the sake of the read, let's just talk about love real quick. For some of you guys, romantically, you left someone in the past behind. They may be trying to reach out to you. They may be trying to get you to, come back. Or they may try to distract you. But you're going towards true love, passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy is what this card says. So there's something here where you feel as though you feel more in alignment to. And whatever you're leaving behind or whoever it is that you left behind, you're not in alignment to them, even though they might be still chasing you or wanting you to be with them. We have bottom of the deck. For a lot of you guys, you could have met the one. On the bottom of the deck, you could have met the person that you're actually supposed to be with. It says you have already met the romantic partner you seek on this card. Interestingly enough, for those of you who don't have somebody, whatever it is that you're leaving behind, whether it's emotional baggage or an actual physical person, you're going towards the one who could be the one. That's the sacrifice you have to make. Not everybody can go where you're going. And so when you make this sacrifice, right, to go towards a new version of yourself, to maybe move to a different city or state, or move on from a certain relationship or a group of people, whatever this is, it brings you right towards your person, the person who's probably done the same thing that you're doing right now. So that you guys are in alignment to meet. A lot of you guys are going to meet your counterpart. You're going to be with the person who's almost just like you to a T. For some of you guys, you already are. And for others of you, you're on your way. But it requires what this is. For you to get out of the void and for you to embrace sacrificing that, hey, not everybody can go where I'm going. That, hey, I'm going to have to let go of a particular pattern or behavior or habit if it's not a person. And I'm going to have to move forward. I'm going to have to be this butterfly. I'm going to have to see from a higher perspective. I'm going to have to go towards where I feel compassionate and passionate for a love connection. For a lot of you guys, this is romance. Yep. Look on the other side. On the other side of this could be the one is forgiving and learning. A lot of you collective, you're forgiving and learning from the past. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So there's that energy. As you release and heal, we talked about healing. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love, more passion in the present moment that guides you straight up into this blessing, this person who could be the one for you. A lot of you guys have already heard me talk about people coming into soulmate unions for the last year and a half, almost 2 years. I have been channeling it all of last year for different zodiac signs all the time. I was like, you're going to meet your person, da-da-da-da. Like, there's a lot of people coming together in union. The love frequency is winning on this planet and all that stuff. And a lot of y'all was probably thinking I was woo-woo, but now you're seeing it around you. You're going to even see it in your own life. So Spirit is saying you're going to get to know new friends or a new lover here that is going to be more in alignment to you. And that's good. Okay? That's a good thing. Says, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. That's what I told you. I say you're going to have deepening bonds, deeper bonds. And it requires you to very soon decide what it is that you want so it comes to you now. You have to make a decision, collective. And for some of you guys, you did, but for others of you, you haven't yet. This decision requires you to forgive and learn from the past relationships, so that way you could be in the present moment of love and go towards future love. Go towards the version of yourself that you love and that you want to share with somebody in love, right? For some of you, it is platonic, so it could be in friendships, but take it how it resonates. Okay? What's the best advice when it comes to love and romance? And then we'll get into the spiritual. We'll get into the spiritual message. Hey Koya, what are you? Hey Yoka, who are you talking to? What are you talking about? You said you from Texas. Jesus, thank you for being here. Or Jesus. Is it supposed to say Jesus or Jesus? You have the underscore, so I wasn't sure. Hi from Texas. We have romance. Look at the card that came out. That's crazy. It flipped over right into my hand. That's why I feel like you guys are gonna have new love that literally plops right into your hand once you make this decision to let go of something emotionally or physically or both. It's a relationship closest to you. In whatever way, shape, or form, Spirit is saying your advice here is to go towards romance. Go towards the thing that makes you feel passionate about life, that inspires you, that motivates you, that allows you to grow and ascend without judgment, that accepts you for you, right? There's something about this energy where there's a lot of romance here to be had. But it's up to you, collective, if that's what you want. You can't quantum leap if you're not making a decision to leap from one platform to another. Bottom of the deck says success. Your romantic relationships are going to be successful. And Spirit on the other side says yes. So if you thought I was lying, the cards never lie. Period. Pooh. So it says here, romance is success. Yes. So this is your advice. Go towards love, okay? Stop settling for less. Heal the parts of yourself that are unhealed about your past relationships or about the relationships around you, creating healthy boundaries and allowing closure to happen. Have those tough conversations. Nothing is easy. Spirit is saying there's success here. Romance, success, this is a yes. Go towards love. Go towards what you love, who you love, love for yourself. Go towards the thing that feels good. A lot of you guys are trying to ignore things. Like you got certain friends or relationships or family members that you're like, yeah, this is love. It's not. It's conditional. You're ignoring that there's conditions to this. If you do for me, I'll do for you. That's not gonna be for everybody, but for some of you guys that's gonna hit. Now let's get into your spiritual message. I'm not going to clear the spread. I'm just going to move these cards up just in case we need to reference them again. So let's get into your spiritual portion of the message. You guys don't have to stick around for this. You guys can if you want to. But we're going to talk about the spiritual ascension of yourself, your soul self, and what that means on a quantum jumping level. Because a lot of you guys are going into this new timeline of yourself, this new version of yourself. A lot of you guys, your environment's shifting and you think everything's crumbling, but everything's actually moving into the right direction. You're on the right path. It just feels uncomfortable. It's supposed to. Okay. So let's get into your spiritual message. I'm going to grab my Angel Numbers Oracle. Thank you, Yvette, for buying me this Oracle deck for my birthday. It's awesome. We're going to pull your angel number card, collective. And then we'll see what other Oracle deck I'm being guided to. I'm going to start off with this one. Ooh, wait. I'm going to get the Mary Magdalene card. I like this one. So this is going to be the spiritual portion of the message. Can somebody clock it? When are we starting this one? What's the timestamp to this? Hi Minutzi. Hi, Minutzi from Denmark. Thank you for being here. Wow. Thank you so much for pulling up to the live stream. I hope that this resonates with you. All right. So let's get into your spiritual messages and then we're going to close this out. All right, collective? Gang, gang. Thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. Come back, you guys. Later on tonight for the members only reading. If you would like a 10-minute personal reading tonight, I will be offering that service tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys are interested in showing up and becoming a member of the channel, all you have to do is click the link in the description box below. Look for the memberships link and tab, and that will allow you to be a member of my channel so you can get access to personal readings that are 10 minutes to whatever it is that you desire to get a personal reading on. My personal readings are on Friday, Saturday, and occasional Mondays. When we are doing this, we do it for the collective every other weekend, so it's bi-weekly. And it's $14.99 for that membership. So if you guys are interested, definitely become a member. The link is in the description box below. And it's such a good tribe. There's a lot of good vibes there. Everybody supports each other, and it's really, really nice to just have that community. It's growing every day. We have a lot of members, and I'm excited to expand on it. And, you know, hopefully Mondays become a thing on a regular basis, because right now Mondays only have about 5 people. Everybody usually comes in and gets their readings on Friday and Saturday. So if you guys are interested on filling up our Monday nights, that would be awesome. Make me feel better because we have more people on Mondays. All right, so become a member of the channel. You can become a member, join at any time, and also cancel at any time whenever you guys want. Okay, so once you become a member, it's not locked in for like forever. You guys can join and unjoin at any time and do whatever. Okay, I'm always gonna love y'all, whether you're a member or not. I always love y'all. I always throw love to you guys because you guys really, really help me grow as an individual and be confident in my gifts, talents, skills, and abilities, and accept me for me. So I really appreciate y'all for that. All right, so let's get these likes up. Mama keeps saying that. Let's get these likes up. Yeah, double tap that screen, you guys. Hi, James. How you doing? Did you miss the reading? A little bit. Yeah, well, actually, a lot of it, because we started at 9:30. It's 11:30 now. We're in the spiritual version or a portion of the read. We're about to get your spiritual message around quantum leap. And then that's going to be it for the reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this. All right, so this is the last one. What time is this starting at? Can someone timestamp it? Okay, let's see. What do we have here for the collective? Wow. Oh my gosh, this is like literally what I was saying. So, okay. Okay, you guys. This message is crazy. Look at this. It says 125. You could be seeing repeating ones like 1111, 111, 222, 555. You could be seeing it separately, or you could be catching 125 literally on the clock, whether you wake up at 1:25 a.m. or whether you see it during your lunch break at 1:25 p.m., something like that. But this is your angel number message for the reading on a spiritual level. And it says here, be serious. Invest in yourself earnestly. Your angels are reminding you that your interests and goals must be taken seriously. If you put them on the back burner, the universe will too. Reflect now on a promise that you have made to yourself recently. Reaffirm your commitment to yourself and to that promise by repeating a mantra a few times before it sinks in. I am worthy. We talked about your worthiness. Didn't we say that? We talked about that, you guys. This angel number on a spiritual level for the spiritual portion of this read matches what I said in the love portion of the read and the career portion of this read. It's summing it up. It's wrapping it up. It's saying the whole point of your spiritual ascension, your evolution of self, and you quantum jumping into this new version of yourself that you so desire, that you feel calling to. Spirit is saying invest into that. Invest into this version of yourself and be serious. There's a time and a place to be Hakikian, and there's a time and a place to be serious. Be serious. Now's the time to be serious. Okay? Spirit is saying if you're not serious and you put something on the back burner that you promised to yourself, whether that's in love, career, spirituality, whether that's with your own like mentality, your emotions, right? Your patterns, your habits, your behaviors, whatever it is that you promise yourself that you would be like, yo, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be better. I'm going to da-da-da-da. If you put that on the back burner, the universe will too. Because the energy can't take you serious if you're not serious about your energy. If I'm playing around all the time in the live stream chat, right? And I'm over here hakikiing all the time, you're not going to take me serious. This message is serious. So Spirit is saying, reaffirm your commitment to yourself that you made a promise to. and repeat your mantra. Say, I'm worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy. So your affirmation for this reading is, I am worthy. Recognize that you are worthy of your desires. Recognize that you are worthy of investing in yourself, betting on yourself. Recognize that you are worthy of better relationships closest to you than the ones that you're settling for less for. Recognize that you are worthy of a better position or workplace, or you're worthy to be your own business owner. If that's what you want to do it. Spirit is saying, reaffirm your commitment to yourself. Your interests and goals must be taken seriously. Stop playing around is what Spirit is saying. Spirit over here yelling at us. Stop playing around. Playing around with this Lionsgate portal. Why is the universe like this? I don't know. Why they like this? I don't know. Thank you for this timestamp, Mama Ann. All right. You said you heard that loud and clear, Jennifer. Because it's true. Me too. I think I heard that one really loud. Okay. So we have here 986 is your next angel number message to the spiritual reading. It says forthright, okay, on the card. And it says practice saying no. Wow, in bold letters it says practice saying no. This speaks of your healthy boundaries. Remember, we talked about creating healthy boundaries or learning how to do that, not being a people pleaser, okay? Being the type of person that sets healthy boundaries with the people around you as well, not just the person that you're with romantically or the closest person to you, like your best friend or your sibling. It's talking about everybody else with everything else. And what does that look like for you, right? Setting a healthy boundary respectfully, practicing saying no. It says here you could be receiving angel numbers 999 or 888 or repeating sixes, or you could be seeing 986 a lot just in general. Maybe for some of you guys, you listen to a radio station, 98.6. For some of you, that could be a thing. I just heard Spirit say that to me. So that's going to be double confirmation for whoever needs that double confirmation. But we have here, practice saying no. Your angels want to alert you to your tendency to confuse yes with no. And they're asking you to stop. Wow, that's crazy profound. Let me read that again for the people in the back. Your angels want to alert you to your tendency to confuse yes with no, and they are asking you to stop. Dang, who needed to hear that? Oh my God. Raise your hand if you needed to hear that. Drop your hands down in the chat. Be like me. That's deep. So then it continues. People know you have a hard time not doing what they ask you to, and they have been taken advantage. It's time to say no confidently. 10 times a day, look in the mirror and practice a way of saying no. So this could be in a phrase that you're practicing. This could be just you saying flat out no, but maybe with a smile on your face. I don't know what this looks like, but Spirit is saying your assignment to practicing setting healthy boundaries is literally looking in the mirror 10 times today. Just try it on ways of saying no. What you look like saying no. Are you being taken seriously? Because it says be serious. Spirit is saying practice saying no. Because y'all be hot kicking. Y'all be having too much fun. And it's not that you can't have fun, but it's like, at the times where you really desire to say no, like if someone asks you a question, it's like, hey, can you do this for me? Or hey, I need a favor. Or hey, and you don't really want to do it. Like the first thing you think of is like, no, I don't really want to do that. But you're like, yeah, sure. What time do you need me at? Or yeah, I could do that. I could move this around, put you in a schedule, da 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 da. Like what part of yourself went from, I don't want to do this and feeling that on the inside, but then on the outside you said, yeah. What part of yourself switched? What the heck was the light switch? I don't understand. That's what you're meant to understand. You're meant to go within and figure out, why do you do that? What are you scared about saying no to, or who are you scared of saying no to? And what do you think the consequences to you saying no will be? Are you not going to have a relationship with that person? Are you not going to get what it is that you want from that person? Because then that means that's a conditional relationship. That's like, oh, do for me, I do for you. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's not reciprocation. That's like, oh, if I give you $10, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to make sure that you buy me a lunch. Like, why? Because that person needed $10. Now you want something back. Sometimes giving requires not receiving anything back, because what you receive is from the universe. The universe will send people your way to give you what it is tenfold. When you give $5 to a homeless person or a bum on the street, are you going to be like clocking that bum every time you drive past them? Yo, can you give me my $5 back? Could you imagine if somebody did that? That don't make no sense. Don't do that. You can't. So there's something about this energy where the universe is going to provide for you 100%. However, what parts of yourself are you sacrificing to provide for others because you're afraid that the universe won't provide for you? Or because you are afraid that you're going to lose that relationship? If you lose that relationship because you said no to somebody, or you put your foot down, or you created healthy boundaries, or you have respect for yourself, and that person just don't want to be around you or F with you no more, then they are not for you. That wasn't a real friendship. That wasn't a loving family member. That wasn't a true romantic partner. You're going to know. Practice saying no, because you're going to know if these people are for you or not for you. You're going to know that these people have other triggers, but you're going to know that they don't like you saying no. You're going to know that they got used to you always saying yes. Always showing up, always being a people pleaser. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. Okay? So I'm seeing that here. You said a homeless man owes you bread. Right? That's a crazy thing to say. So Spirit is saying here, and let me read it again for those of you who forgot, because I always go on these tangents. Your angels want to alert you that you have a tendency to confuse yes with no. And they're asking you to stop, because people know that you have a hard time saying no. So they take advantage of you. And now's the time to confidently say no. So practice what that looks like. So maybe for you guys, it's not just like flat out no. Maybe the next time someone asks you to do something, you're like, you know what? I wish I could do that for you, but I do have this thing that I have to attend to. Or I do have to, it's not even that you have to do something. You don't even have to make it, say you're not doing anything. You don't have to make it up like you're doing something or you're busy. You could just be like, I'm not available to do that for you. You know, that's just not going to work out for me. You know, I know you probably don't want to hear that, but I just can't show up for you right now. That's it. It don't have to be a reason that you have a busy schedule. You got to pull up for somebody else. I can't show up for you right now. I know you want me to do that. I've done a lot for you. I can't show up for you right now. Okay. And so in saying that might be a trigger to a person. Maybe you practice saying things like that in the mirror. I don't know. But whatever it is that you're going to practice, you do need to embody creating healthy boundaries and saying no. Because you might be trying to create healthy boundaries with people who you're not meant to create healthy... I'm going to rephrase this because I almost said it wrong. You might be creating healthy boundaries or wanting to create healthy boundaries with people who you don't necessarily have... How am I saying this, Spirit? Hold on. Spirit's trying to give me a message and I'm not listening to the whole thing. And so I'm trying to say it while they say it and they just want me to listen. So give me a second. Okay. Spirit is saying that you are not creating healthy boundaries with the people who you are meant to create healthy boundaries with. And then you're creating healthy boundaries with the people who already have boundaries that are teaching you how to create healthy boundaries. Does this make sense? I think that was confusing. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Take it how it resonates or rewind it so you understand it, what I just said. But yeah, collective people that you are meant to create healthy boundaries with, you're not creating healthy boundaries with. You have a hard time doing that, and they know you do. So that's where the taken advantage of. And so you feel like you're being taken advantage of these people when it comes to these people. And then you're like trying to be creating healthy boundaries with other people who don't really deserve that behavior or that mindset, They don't even know you like that yet, and you're already like, yeah, I gotta create healthy boundaries with you. It's because you're not creating healthy boundaries with the people who you're meant to create healthy boundaries with. So you're projecting that because you're supposed to be doing it over here with this collective of people, but instead you're just picking some random stranger and being like, yeah, I gotta create healthy boundaries with you. Like that now there's ego, and then like where did that come from? It's because you're suppressing who you actually need boundaries with. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So that's what Spirit is saying here. Practice saying no. It's like if I'm not creating healthy boundaries with my sister, and I know I need to create healthy boundaries with my sister, but instead I choose the cashier at the Walmart to create healthy boundaries with. No, you need to bag my stuff up, right? Because that's unacceptable, and I will not accept that behavior. You're not just going to throw my stuff in a bag. They didn't really need that. All they needed was constructive criticism. All they needed was, hey, can you actually separate the eggs from the bread? Because I just don't want them to smush, and then the eggs, and I don't want the eggs to crack if there's other things with the bread. Is that okay? Thank you. That's all that cashier needed. But instead, you went all out. You did the most. You did extra because that stems from something that you're not doing in your life. That healthy boundary with that sister. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's giving. You understand what I'm saying now, y'all? I know some of you guys got it and some of you guys didn't, so I gave you multiple examples, but that's what it is. Not Queen laughing in the chat. It's true though. You can tell when you're projecting. Hi, Antoniette. Thank you for being here. Hi. Antoniette booked the personal reading with me. We did that one. That one was good. All right, so let's say, what do we have here for my collective? Let's say, what's the last message? This is your last spiritual message. Your spiritual message. What's going to get you to a quantum jump, or what you're meant to embody during this quantum jump, because your whole life is about to change. You're in Toronto? Oh, that's cool. Thank you for watching from Toronto. I got my Canada people up in here. I got Greece up in the chat. I had South Africa earlier. We global out here. You know, we be vibing. You got 2 cards out, you guys. Wow, these 2 cards are cool. Oh, wow. This is about to be a message. Wow, that's cool. So you get a card number 33. You could be seeing repeating 3s as an angel number, but it says the mystique of Magdalene, deep reflection. Yeah, you're reflecting on yourself. A lot of you guys are going in introspection and reflecting on who it is that you portray, and who it is that you have created a narrative of the past, and how that's shifting and changing. It's interesting because both of these cards that came out, they both have her eyes closed. One is blue and one is red. This is almost like the red pill, blue pill type of energy, like in the Matrix, so to speak. Very interesting. But it's showing me here reflection. And then we also have the blue card here where her eyes are closed. And then you can see a couple here. So she's thinking about her union, her divine union to self, her inner divine masculine or feminine energy. But she's also thinking about her divine union to her partnerships around other people. Now this one in particular, since this is Mary Magdalene, she's thinking about her partnership, or she's manifesting her partnership with Yeshua, because this is like the biblical oracle deck. But we have here, this could represent you thinking about your relationships closest to you, or your relationship to yourself, coming into union with someone or yourself is here. It could be the both, but it's the number 8 on the cards. For some of you guys, you've been seeing repeating 8s. But we have here the Shekinah, divine destiny. It's almost like you're destined to meet somebody for some of you, or to come into, I don't know if it's a lover's partnership, a business partnership, or better friendships or something. You're meant to come into union with this, but you're going to need to deeply reflect on yourself before this happens. I want to read what this means in the card here, or in the book here about the card, the Shekinah. So the Shekinah card reads here, it says divine destiny. Infuse spirit into all you create. Everything you do, no matter how small, is a conscious act that can be charged with positive intentions. Your affirmative actions will will keep you on a positive timeline. Wow. So the story behind the Shekinah, I'm going to read the history behind it. It says the Shekinah is a primordial creatrix. She is sometimes called the bride of a god, the world soul, and the eternal light of wisdom, aka Sophia. Mary Magdalene and Yeshua would know her as Shekinah. She brings the thoughts of God into manifestation as a vehicle of creation. The mother slash father God was the source of the iconic bride and bridegroom, represented on earth plane as Mary Magdalene and Yeshua. So when we talk about marriage and we talk about union, that's basically where it kind of stems from, is that when we when we talk about the bride, we talk about Mary Magdalene, and we talk about the groom, we're talking about Yeshua. So when people get married, you might be looking at it from a different sense now, like two people who are of highest vibration coming together into union to embody just one energy. And so it has to be sacred. And in order to make a sacred union like that, you go through a marriage ritual, right? You go through that marriage ceremony in front of your family members and friends, or in private. For some of you guys, you do it privately. But it's very sacred. And the reason why the bride is called the bride is because it's connected to Mary Magdalene. And the reason why the groom is called the groom, because it's tied to Yeshua, right? It's talking about a divine union, a divine destiny here. And so that's what this is showing as well. It's kind of showing relationships too. We have here the Zohar, a foundation of Jewish mysticism, also known as the Book of Splendor, refers to the angels being born from Shekinah. The Thunder, Perfect Mind is a poem from the manuscripts of Nag Hammadi, the Gnostic Gospels. In it, the divine feminine speaks of the angels sent at my word. Air quotes, sent at my word. So the divine feminine speaks of angels that sent at my word, air quotes, that's what they have here. They've become the intermediaries and her messengers. Later in the Nag Hammadi, I don't know if you guys know these texts, but it's talking about the Nag Hammadi. And it says here, the divine feminine presence is called Sophia. She is portrayed as the highest dimensional being, the breath of the living God, creating the fundamental manifestation of human existence and spirituality. Remember, you are of a divine thought of the Father and have been given the breath of life by the Mother to become a living being within a divine destiny. Your destiny is not a fixed mark, it's not set in stone. You can arrive by many pathways to your destiny according to the choices that you make. So all of this basically is saying that you have the ability to create your own reality. You have the ability to reach a destiny, and not every pathway is going to look the same that you choose. So the choices and the decisions that you make in life, it could do with becoming this more, healthy boundary person, to releasing past lovers or people who don't resonate with you, to switching careers or jobs or workplaces. It's like in all different ways. Whatever path that you're guided to intuitively that you choose, it never actually ends up looking like the same way maybe a different decision may have led you on a pathway to look, right? So Spirit is saying your destiny is not fixed. You can always change your destiny or your end all be all mark. You can always change the journey to get there, the people you meet to get there, the experiences you have to get there, because that's part of your free will. So you can arrive by many pathways to your destiny, and you can also change what you destined to be. For a lot of people, they're like, oh, I'm supposed to be a singer. I'm meant to be a singer. And then they realize they ended up making a podcast, and they're like now just like a person who likes being on a podcast and singing occasionally, but they're not like a singer. Like they're not an artist, right? And maybe they create like albums and stuff like that, but they're not like striving to be that because they found something else they love. They still were able to use their voice. It's like not everything is going to be the way you think or desire it to look like at the end, if that makes sense. So Spirit is saying here that you are connected to your inner divine feminine energy, or you're connected to a divine feminine. For my divine masculines watching, you're connected to a divine feminine, either in spirit or in real life, and you're meant to connect to that. You're meant to come into union with that person. A lot of you guys, this is going to sound very woo-woo, but just go with it. But a lot of you guys are going to be attracting a divine feminine, for those of you who are masculine watching. But for those of you who are feminines watching, you are going to be activating your divine feminine so you and your divine masculine can grow together. I'm seeing power couple energy. I'm seeing unions coming together, and you guys are helping each other on your individual paths while you're in a union to create an empire for yourselves. So in biblical times, we know that Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, they disappeared and they did their own thing for a while, and they got married, they had kids, they had a whole bloodline that they couldn't share with the rest of the world because people didn't agree with it, because they were in their own ascension. They had their own destiny. They had their own path. That's the path that they chose. But if they started telling people about what they were going to do, maybe their path would have went differently. Maybe they would have never had those kids or got married, because maybe there would have been outside influences and distractions and temptations getting in the way of that, right? And so Spirit is saying here, sometimes your destiny, or who you're supposed to be with, or this union you're supposed to have within yourself or with someone else, is going to have to be more private. It's going to have to be more sacred. And so you have to do deep reflection within yourself, because there's something here where you have to practice saying no to what people know about your life, your goals, your relationship, and that's also going to guide you on a path that's either smooth or rocky to get there. And a lot of it has to do with your own seriousness, because we talked about that here. Investing into yourself seriously, right? We talked about that when we say practicing saying no. So there's something here of a deeper message. I can't quite fully grasp it, but I'm going to leave it at that since we've been on this live stream for a while. I'm going to close it out. But this is going to be your spiritual message. So take what resonates. Not every message was your message from beginning to end for each category. You might have just grabbed like a few nuggets of wisdom and then you utilize that for your life, and that resonates for you. For others of you, it was the message from beginning to end for each category that we just covered. So just take it how it resonates, you guys. Not gonna be for everybody. Like I said, I have other videos on my channel you could check out if you guys are interested in, but this is what I was channeling. So I hope you guys got a very profound message from this reading. I hope that this reading resonates as some form or fashion, whether I explained it correctly or not, with detail or not. And I hope that you guys have a great rest of your Leo season. This is a season of a portal where you're moving into a new version of yourself, or you're being called to move into this power position in a lot of different areas of your life, in career, love, and spirituality. So utilize these nuggets of wisdom and implement them into your life, and you're going to definitely see your environment change. Okay, you're definitely going to see this beautiful change with where you're supposed to be at, your divine destiny. I do feel like you're destined to be a particular version of yourself, and you guys are going to navigate that from the inside, so it shows up for you on the outside. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate each and every one of y'all in the collective for being here. Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. Make sure you like the video here. If you guys are new or my OGs coming back, definitely like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Turn on that post bell notification if you want to be notified and be the first ones in the room and all that good stuff. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will see you guys in the next video booking or live stream on one of my platforms. So take care. Best of abundance, and Ashe. Bye.